Hey everyone, my name is Eddie Wang and today we are going to cover the natural evolution of Jin, which many of us believe that in Tekken 8 Jin is going to be fused with, and I'm talking of course about Devil Jin. Devil Jin is a dick character. I like to call it a dick because he is a 50-50 heavy character, and he is also a Mishima, meaning that his with punishment is no joke. His punishment game is no joke. His Oki game is insane. He used to be a lot better, but he's still great because he has some really good moves that are going to hit you on the ground, and if you don't stand you are going to get hit by that, regardless if you try to take on either direction. And then he has a natural a true electric, so meaning he has a guard fist electric. Jin has a hook fist, so he can do this by repetition, and he's also allowed to fail, like he's allowed to be more lenient, since Jin needs to be extremely precise when doing electrics. He always has to be a just frame to launch. Devil Jin, just with a regular one, even if you miss your just frame, you are still going to get damage and a lot of like a wall carry from it. For example, this is a combo that is still going to reach the wall regardless, and you can still do a lot of damage from it just as well. So while the electrics also don't differ as much, with the main difference is that it's so quick that you can do, they recover so fast now that you can do a lot of electrics on whiff and not be punished by it. And he also has some tools that are far better. For example, his L sweep is much faster. He's so quick and he's so hard to see, and he can also like hit you with this. If you are trying to duck his hell sweep, he can just hit you with this and go for a combo. And this is also a homing, and he can fly. Yes, he can fly, and while he fly, he also has like commands like unblockables. He has throws that come out of the fly. He can fly the other way. He can, yeah, he has all this. He also has this move right here, which is going to do a lot of stun on block if you block it, and he can cancel moves into dash. He has a dash cancel mechanic going for him. Some moves he can dash cancel into it. This, for example, it's safe, but you can step, and then he has like he can dash cancel this into this stuff. For example, he can just do whatever, dash it and cancel it, and he still plus even if like he dash cancels. He is at -2, so he can sidestep most of the things that you do. And one of the comparable things that he has with Jin is a down forward one, which from Devil Jin is double digit. Jin is +4 with a follow-up, him is +8 with a follow-up, despite that his follow-up is not guaranteed on regular hit, but it is on counter hit, and he can still dash cancel to increase his plus frames, and then he gets to for example, to hit you with electrics just in case. He has pokes, and he also has punishment. Like for example, he has a 1-1-2, which is something Jin doesn't have. He also has a back 1-2, which is something, is a 12 frame high mid, sorry, and he can cancel this by holding back, despite not being safe, but you won't really want to press buttons out there. And I'm going to show you something that he has that Jin cannot do and he can, which is like, for example, if I'm hitting people, wake up mid kicks is something that he can punish and Jin cannot punish traditionally, but Devil Jin can actually punish wake up mid kicks with back 1-2, so be careful at the wall against this character. And he also has access to some of the tools that Jin has. For example, Jin has Evil Intent, which is back forward 2-1-2. He has Laser Cannon, and this used to be original regular Jin move in Tekken 4. And in Tekken 4, if Jin hit you with a counter hit back forward 2, the entire laser cannon was a guaranteed hit. But this is not the case with Devil Jin, so he cannot do this. The first 2 hits are guaranteed and it's +1, but then to hit you like fully on laser cannon, only the second hit needs to connect. So if he is at this distance, for example, and he does this, the laser cannon is going to hit. And he also has the laser scrapper, which is something that Jin used to have in Tekken 4 and now he doesn't have. And he has like this, which is also guaranteed if the second hit is a counter hit. The main difference is that this from Devil Jin, this is -10 on hit, so you can punish him, and you can also sidestep the last hit if you block. Like for example, I'm going to show you real quick. If I do a sidestep, I'm going to set this to what all, and I'm going to set this, I believe it's sidestep left. So I'm going to do this, and Jin, oh, it's sidestep right, sorry, it's the other side. So if I do this, Jin can sidestep, as you guys can see, and I'm doing this really quick. So what is the main difference is Jin's Evil Intent is a mid-high mid, and if Jin does this without delay, it doesn't matter if you block the first 2 hits, the third one you cannot sidestep. And if you block the first 2 hits or any hit of the Evil Intent, Jin is safe. So Devil Jin is only safe on this hit, so only this hit of him is safe. So while you cannot sidestep this one, so if he does, like for example this, you can sidestep the third hit. And if he does this, you cannot he is at -10, so you are already at advantage regardless if he checking you or not. So just be careful, because while this is unsteppable, it's delayable, so you have to be really careful around it. So if he does this, as you guys can see, you can still step it, but the second hit is probably the hardest hit to predict. But still be extremely careful around this, because while it doesn't really launch on regular hit, if he catches you sideways, for example from here, the laser scrapper is going to hit you fully. Stick problem, sorry. So this is guaranteed, as you guys can see, and he can do this on both ends. As long as he is really sideways, he can do this. Just to give you guys an idea. So Jin used to have this move, and then they removed it in Tekken 5 when they gave him Evil Intent, and in Tekken 6, to fix the issue of everyone ducking Evil Intent, they gave him back forward 2-3, which is a mid, and this mid is a counter hit launcher that is -12, so it's way minus than this, but it's also +6, and Jin can go into Zen and become safe and cancel that animation as well. So but Jin still got the laser scrapper and Evil Intent intact too. If you had Kazuya Mishimas as partners, he could easily enter the Omen stance and use some of the Mishima tools, including his laser cannon, laser scrapper. He also had a 1-2 into a forward 4, which is something that he no longer has because he doesn't have access to the stance anymore. So enough talking about Jin, and this is pretty much what Devil Jin has, and some of the things that he has better than Jin. His movement is also better, and he is a true wave dash mix-up character. He has an insane rage drive that comes from a hell sweep, then conditions you every single time that he has rage to not duck, because if the Devil Jin player is good at doing instant while standing stuff, then you are in for a ride. He also has this right here. This hits people on the ground. If you do not stand, if you don't stand against Jin, he has like Demon Steel Pedal, and this used to hit grounded, but it hits every single time he is like off axis, as you guys can see. And if you are on such positions and you don't want to stand, if he puts you off axis from a punish, for example, then this is going to hit. Of course, it's not going to hit you straight up, but if he is a little bit off axis, he already hits. And this is what some of the people are expecting Jin to get in season 4, but I don't really think that he's going to get a move that hits grounded. So this is the video for today. Hope you guys enjoy it. And if you play Jin, you should try to pick Devil Jin. The principle is a bit different because this character is more a 50-50 heavy and with punishment, but he can also poke, and he has like some really good pokes. But his waifu game is insane. He's like really good, and he forces you off the ground often. So some of the things that Jin doesn't have, he has. He also can fly. He can fly and do a lot of good stuff like in the air, and that's it. This isn't exactly a breakdown. It's just to give you guys an insight of why this character is different from Jin, while also being so good, and the natural evolution. It's also what people expect in Tekken 8, that is going to be Jin's rage, so you will be able to switch into Devil Jin. He's going to fuse with Devil Jin and morph into this evil version, and play like a really maniac character. So we'll see about that, what Namco has in store for a Devil Jin fused character. I think it's going to be interesting, considering if you main both now and this actually happens, you are going to have your two characters fused into one, and when you get access to rage in Tekken 8, you will be able to go fully Devil Jin if you like to play Devil Jin. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys on the next Monday.